Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Slap, your small business YouTube channel. I am your host, Juan Pablo Rivadeneira. And in today's episode of Slap Stories, we're very proud to present Melodie Bissell. Welcome, Melodie. How you doing? Tell us about yourself.
Good, thank you. Thank you so much. It's good to be here with you. So, my name is Melodie Bissell. I currently serve as the chair and senior safeguarding consultant for Plan to Protect. I started Plan to Protect as a company almost 20 years ago, and we are located in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And I have just transitioned, hired a new president, but have stayed actively involved as the chair of the board and as a senior safeguarding consultant. So I am so grateful for Silver Lining because they have helped me get to this place where I am today. At Plan to Protect, we provide the highest standard of abuse prevention and safeguarding for organizations that serve the vulnerable sector globally. That's my slap statement.
Love it. That's. Tell me a little bit about your journey. And I always ask this question because I find it interesting. The idea of starting a small business might be one of the scariest ideas for any human. This is like taking ownership of your time, your income, and actually becoming responsible for the income of other people as well. So I'm very interested to hear how was your journey, like from how was that when you started, what ideas you have, what dreams, and how are you doing now? How was that journey as a small business owner?
I think I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I'm certainly a visionary. And I have served in leadership roles in other companies, but I was serving as the executive director of a children's charity. In 2000 to 2006, I was executive director. And during the course of serving in that role, I had over 1,000 volunteers. We were reaching and impacting about 50,000 children every year. The insurance company wrote to me and asked me what I was doing to prevent abuse from happening. So I responded to their questions, and they came back and they said, you're not doing enough. We're not going to provide you abuse coverage. So that started a journey for me of saying, okay, I want to make sure we're the safest not for profit out there. I don't want that would be my worst nightmare if abuse happened under my watch as a leader because we were working with children and youth. And so I went out there looking to see who had good resources on abuse prevention and safeguarding. I didn't find anything in Canada that would serve my needs. And so I started pulling it together. And thankfully, I had an experience. I had a background of working in litigation as a legal secretary and paralegal. I had I had background in sales, human resources. So I sort of drew on those strengths. But in the process of putting all these resources together and um, being a co-author of a manual called Plan to Protect, I realized at the time, well, if I have to do this, then every other organization, school, camp, church, sporting league, dance programs, choir programs, after school events, community agencies also have to do this. And why recreate the wheel? Not everyone had the experience I had. So that led me to the place where I decided to resign from my role as children's charity executive director. And I started Plan to Protect. And you're right, it was scary. I gave up a good salary, um, started working from home back in 2006, 2007. The first year I started, I sold $15,000. So that hardly covered the cost of anything. So there were years that I didn't get paid. And I'm so grateful for my family who supported and encouraged me through. But it was in my second year that I met Carissa and Silver Lining. So I am probably one of the very first slapsters that Carissa ever had.
Yeah, I'm aware that she, by the way, she brought you when we were talking about who could we interview for this series of Slap Stories, your name came up immediately. And there's something that you mentioned that was very interesting. And I want to ask you about this because it seems like you were way ahead of the curve in this. And I think it's relevant to today's um, working environment. You said you started working from home in 2006. Is that accurate?
Yes, because I was starting the business. We didn't have money for an office. So I literally thought I was starting a home-based business, but it continued to grow and expand. And now we do serve clients globally. So it was quite a shift for me to work from home when I never had worked from home before.
And that's exciting. So this is my question to you, because right now, due to the global pandemic that just happened, a lot of small businesses and industries and big businesses and everybody is shifted to a either completely remote from home, let's say style of operations, or a hybrid, right? Where you work some days from home and some days you go to the office. You seem to be at least 14 years ahead of that curve. Like, how was that experience for you at that time, 2006, when you probably were one of the first people to start working from home?
Well, when I was the only employee, it worked fine because I'm very motivated and I jump out of bed ready to work every morning. And I wasn't easily distracted. I actually had to discipline myself to leave my office and shut off my computer because when you're an entrepreneur, you work around the clock. So I had to discipline myself. And then when I started hiring employees, we were working from home. I had someone who was working from my office in my home. Um, and we just got to the place where we felt disconnected, not working together in an office. So it was about 4 years, 5 years into starting the company that we decided to rent an office space and work all together. And it has been a transition for us during COVID to have to go back home because we always worked from the office. And we suffered as a company. I think you suffer a little bit when people aren't all together. You learn so much when you're working together. You overhear conversations. You can bounce ideas off of each other, and you're not working so much in isolation. So we do a hybrid model now, but I always love when we come back together again.
Yeah, human interaction is key. Like, we're humans are social creatures. I agree with that 100%. I want to ask you, you mentioned it a little bit already, like you met Carissa in your second year, and you started your slab journey. Can you expand a little more on that? How was your slab journey when you met Carissa and she explained what silver lining was on slab? What was your impression? And then you've been, I assume, since 2007. So a really long journey. Could you tell me about that?
I think I met Chris we incorporated in 2006. I started in 2007, and it was in late 2008 that I came across someone referred me to Chrissa. She was still at that time living in Toronto, working in Toronto, hadn't moved yet to New York. And someone told me about Carissa, and I saw that she was promoting a contest on inspiring entrepreneurs and small business leaders. And it was a contest. And if you know anything about Carissa, she is like the most generous person out there. And so I applied for this contest, and I was one of the recipients. And she took us to Jamaica for a very long weekend. And it was 10 of us that went to Jamaica with Carissa. And that's where I was first introduced to silver lining and Slap. It was before there was even a Slap platform. We actually did our Slap in an Excel spreadsheet.
Oh, wow.
And that year, I had told her I was so excited because the first year of sales, I had sold $15,000, as I said. And the second year, I sold $115,000. $115,000. And I was so excited about hitting that $100,000 mark. And I really do attribute so much of it to what I learned that weekend from Carissa and Silver Lining when I went to Jamaica with her.
Wow, what an experience. Imagine Jamaica, so it's tropical paradise, and then talking about business. That sounds like a really fun weekend. Um,
With other leaders, small business leaders. And some of us are still friends to this day. Many of us are.
that's amazing. I love it. Yeah, one of the most important things when you are battling the world is that's how I like to say when you're a small business owner, you're battling the world. You every day you get up and you put your work into your suit, which would be like your knight armor, and then you go and you battle the world with a vision, right? With an expectation, an impact that you want to generate. I really admire that, and I mean it.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, um, what is in your journey so far? What has been your biggest learning? And that could be either as a result of being in this lab program or just the journey of being an entrepreneur that you would want to share with our audience.
I have learned so much being a slapster. And as I said, so much of our growth, I really contribute to being a slapster and what I've learned on the slap platform. But I think some of the key things I've learned is you can imagine how broad our clientele could be, like schools, camps, churches, sporting leagues, community groups, and now not only children, youth, but also vulnerable adults, individuals with disabilities, new immigrants, people who are experiencing distress, the elderly, people with disabilities. So my customer base could be huge, right? And we do training, policy writing, consulting, screening of staff members and volunteers. What Silver Lining has taught me is who is my ideal client? Who is my ideal customer? And I tell you, don't minimize that importance of learning that lesson because most of the people that come to us want to take our training. They're volunteers within their organizations or they're program leaders. But even though they're the ones that use our services, they are not my ideal client. If I try to sell to that audience, the the runway to closing the sale is very long because they have to get approval from the board. They have to put it in the budget. They have to try to determine is this a priority or is buying bells and whistles and snacks for a program the priority? And they're not as they want to create a safe environment, but that's not top of mind. The program is top of mind. My ideal client, and Silver Lining has helped me identify this, is that his name is Chris. He is the executive director or a board member. He is probably has teenagers. He's a parent, and he knows important of risk management, mitigating risk, and he wants to outsource that. He's actually a male, not a female, because most females are very protective at heart and are very like they want to protect and they feel they can do it. Where Chris, as a male, he wants to outsource this. He wants to find the very best services available, but he can make decisions because we sell B2B he can make those decisions, and the sales close cycle goes from months to with 2 or 3 days. So silver lining has helped me spend my time and energy finding out where those crystals are.
That's a incredible learning. That's, yeah, the importance of the idea. You said it perfectly. Do not underestimate the importance of some tools that might seem intuitive, but they could lay a very strong foundation. Very well said. Uh,
Thank you.
okay, I want to, one final question. If you were, let's imagine that we're time travelers and you have the opportunity to send a message to the past, to 2006 Melodie, which I assume many of our viewers might be in that position right now. Maybe probably working at a company or doing whatever and thinking about maybe I want to take that step to start my own business. What would you say to 2006 Melodie and in consequence to all those people who might be in her position right now?
This is easy for me. Do not under um, do not neglect good procedures. Discipline as an entrepreneur is so critical. If you're not disciplined as a small business owner, your success rate will be impacted. I am so disciplined when it comes to my Slack platform. I have my revenue streams. I've got 5 or 6 revenue streams. I mentioned those training, screening, selling resources, membership, consulting. So I've got my revenue streams. Every Friday at about 3 o'clock, my bookkeeper sends me the sales report by revenue stream by email. So I get this report every Friday at about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock for any sales that we have had since the prior Friday. I immediately, the minute it hits my inbox, before I close my week off, I go through, I put in the revenue, I log into Slack platform, I put in my sales for the week, and I see that sales jump. And it is so rewarding. That's how I end almost every Friday. And I have been doing this now since 2000 and what, 2009. Um, I've been doing that, and it is something I do every Friday consistently. If for some reason my bookkeeper is on vacation or away on Friday, I do it first thing Monday morning. And so I would say what I would say to Melodie in 2006, 2007, but I'd really say to all you new slapsters, discipline is key when it comes to business growth, and having those habits that just become second nature to you will really help you see your sales grow.
It's really good advice. Really good advice. Where might our audience find you? Any social media handles, website that you might want to share?
Good. Yeah, I'd be happy to tell you. Our website is plantoprotect.com, just like it's written out, plantoprotect.com. We work in both the United States and Canada and many countries around the world. You can learn a lot about us by visiting our website. We are also on Facebook, Plan to Protect. We're on X or Twitter. We're on Instagram and on LinkedIn. You can find me, Melodie, Melodie, Bissell, Bissell. And I'm on LinkedIn also.
Thank you, Melodie. We're going to put all those in the description below, so don't be shy. If contact Melodie, if her business is aligned with anything that you need, just don't be shy. Contact her. I'm pretty sure Melodie would be happy to reply. Melodie, I want to thank you. I know that small business owners are people who take a lot of care and protect their time, because their time, it's one of the biggest assets. So I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Can I tell you one more thing?
Yes, you can.
So I'm so excited about this that this past year we have almost every year hit our goals, like very, very close, if not exceeded our goals. And this past year we went, remember that first year, $15,000, second year, $115,000. This past year we hit over $1 million of sales, and we're aiming for 1.5 million this year. So here's hoping.
Uh, those are incredible news. And this is best to, it's not what you say, it's what you do. That's what I believe, right? And you have consistently during this interview expressed the importance of consistency. Small actions over time generate real change. And yeah, going from 15,000, 150,000 to now $1 million, that's just the result of your hard work. I'm very proud of you. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, let's keep working. And if we could do anything to help you hit that new mark, let us know. So now there you have it, small business owners. This is an example of success, consistency. Again, thank you, Melodie. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate lining so much.
thank you. All right, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to keep learning about the slap stories and success of small business owners and how we could help the small business community. Again, thank you, Melodie, and I hope to see everybody soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.